2. Welcome one, welcome all to tonight's coverage of the Roval 200 here on JCTV. I'm, as always, Eric Wineland, joined by my broadcast partner, Josh Coppernoll. Josh, welcome back yet another week in the Galaxy Truck Series League racing action here, this time from the tricky and very, very tough Charlotte Roval.
Yeah, Eric, I am really excited for this race. I love road course racing, and let me tell you from experience from yesterday, albeit in the car, not the truck, this track is a challenge. So these guys, they've had to prepare for quite a while to make sure to master this track, and, well, it's time. So not much more practice they can get till race time.
Absolutely. So we're looking at, again, the Galaxy Truck Series League racing action, coming off of a super speedway win with tonight's in-race reporter, Logan Slavosky. Logan, welcome to the JCTV booth, getting you set for tonight's Roval action. But first, I must ask, how high are you riding that wave of the win of Talladega just last week?
Hey guys, thanks for having me. And it's honestly been a pretty good week. Not a lot of celebrating or anything like that with the team. Just trying to get to work on this Roval setup. I'm not a huge road course guy by any means, so I needed a lot more practice than some others. So just getting to the next race and worrying about the next one, and looking forward to after this race as well, finishing out the season strong. Looking forward to a good 2021.
Well, as always, so you come off a huge win in your debut last week. Now you're getting yourself set for the Roval. How does preparation happen this week? How do you get everything set for, instead of turning left all the time, a lot of right turns as well?
Honestly, it's been pretty tough getting used to it at the beginning of the week. Couldn't even really turn a lap here, but thanks to the guys back at OSS, Chris and Lee, they really helped me here this week. Lee's a pretty good road course racer himself, so just getting some good feedback from them and learning the track, really, just where I can push the car, where I can't, and braking points, stuff like that. It's all about your braking points and stuff like that, where you're going to make up time. So learn all that stuff beginning of the week and trying to just get better and get better each day, and each day leading up to the race is just a big challenge.
All right, so you're staring at 55 laps ahead on the twists and turns of the Roval. Do you approach this race going very aggressive with only one stage in this thing? Do you play it pretty passively and try to be there at the end? How does a driver approach something like the Charlotte Roval?
I think it's pretty unique in the sense that we only got that one stage caution coming up, and I think that's it besides any major pileups. So I think we got to qualify well here and then just take care of it, really. That's all I'm worried about. I'm worrying about finishing here more than winning it again. Just finishing is the goal this week. Looking forward to Kansas and Texas more than the Roval, of course.
Alrighty, well, I'll let you get back to your team. Best of luck tonight, and thank you for being the in-race porter.
Appreciate it, guys. We'll see you later on.
So that was Josh. That was Logan Slavosky, last week's winner. Very confident driver, looks like, heading into tonight's Roval action.
Yeah, he definitely sounds confident. It's going to be interesting to see if he is able to ride that momentum here tonight and get a good finish tonight. Maybe even end up in victory lane.
Well, speaking on the topic of victory lane, Josh, let's go ahead and take our picks for tonight. Well, I let you lead off last week, but this week I'm going to take the lead off spot here. Picks to win tonight here on JCTV for the Roval 200 here at Charlotte Roval. I'm going to go with that guy over there in, I think it's the 16 truck. No, excuse me. Not sure where he is. I'll switch it up on you, Josh. I'll go with the 83. Adam Beneful. This guy is just stupid fast on the iRacing service, excuse me. Former peak iRacing DWC driver. Very, very good on the ovals, as proven just through that alone. Found his way into the Galaxy Cup Series. He also found his way down here to the Galaxy Truck Series and being able to race the trucks. So, Josh, I expect him to be very much a Roval master already. I imagine he's put a lot of laps down on this circuit, so expect a lot out of the 83 tonight.
That is a great pick for sure. I'm going to go with the guy I've chosen quite a bit. He's the winningest Truck Series regular. I'm going to go with Mr. Alonso Chicano to win tonight.
So there you have it, the picks to win tonight here on JCTV. As we get ready for the Roval 200, just about 10 minutes remaining in practice here. So Josh, take me through a lap here. We're gonna ride on board one of these drivers. Let's go ahead and jump on with Craig Fryer in the 17. If I can hit my keys right there. And as I say that, the old commentator's curse as he pulls into pit road. Let's go ahead and let's pick Lee Overton in the 96.
All right, well, right here, Eric, he's getting off turn 2. And he's going to want to start braking early and heavy going into this backstretch chicane because you got to execute it just right. And you don't want to drive straight through it, otherwise you'll have a time penalty and have to stop. So he did execute that chicane pretty well. He's getting back up to full speed. No lifting here other than to shift. And right about here, he's going to start braking to get into the second and last chicane. He's going to hit that pretty well, come across the line. And right about the 3 marker, maybe, looks like the 2 marker, he started braking. Another big braking corner just to get down in there, back in the gas. And now it's a little tricky. I've been struggling in this part myself, but you want to kind of take a straight line going into turn 3, if that makes sense, and try to get into turn 4 pretty well. Straight shot down through there. Another kind of straight line through the corner to lead you to that corner, which is really hard to execute. It's doing this pretty well. Get right back onto the oval portion through NASCAR 1. And that leads us right back to where I started this at.
So walk me through how these drivers are able to manage so much shifting. I mean, well, we're looking at probably well over 20 to 30 gear changes in a lap, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Lots of shifting going on here. You just got to manage the shifting pretty well and making sure you're doing everything right. So on top of focusing on braking and turning around this really wild track, just got to make sure that you're on top of getting through the gears as well. So a lot going on in just one lap here at the Charlotte Roval.
So we continue to watch practice here. Look at the times. You see John Delaney on the top of the board. I don't think he would have been one that I would have expected to be such a road course ringer. Josh, coming off the previous road course race for the Galaxy Trucks, was actually back at Canadian Tire, in which case Delaney didn't have the greatest outing out there, I believe. Actually, excuse me, he didn't even make the start. I was thinking of Gornieri there. But Petrucco was your winner the last time out at a road course, and unfortunately, Josh, Petrucco's not going to be able to make tonight's event.
Yeah, so I think actually the 2 road courses that we've already have had, being Watkins Glen and Canadian Tire, I believe that both drivers that have won so far at the road course, which would have been Cameron Stone, I do not believe he's in tonight's race. So we should have a first-time road course winner tonight.
Absolutely. So we continue to watch here. Practice winding down just inside 5 minutes to go. So Josh, as a driver over on the Cup side of things, take me through your process. How much do you utilize, since we have a little bit of wreck coming off pit road there, how much do you utilize the 30-minute warm-up session that Galaxy gives its drivers here getting ready for the races?
Well, you can practice in other sessions, but once you get to the actual race practice session like we are here, this gives you a better idea to utilize how the track's going to feel going into the race. Of course, the track will change over the course of the race, but this is going to give you the best idea of how it's going to be at the green flag. So this practice session is very important to utilize, and you should utilize most of it, if not all.
So we see some of these guys. Chicano going for a drift session through turn 3 there. There's Stone wrapping through turn 4. So it actually does look like Stone's going to make an attempt to race tonight here, Josh. So we see that 57 truck making laps around the circuit.
Well, I didn't think he was racing tonight. I thought he was going to race control, but if he is racing, then I think he'll definitely be a threat for sure.
So we'll go ahead and ride on board here get a little... Oh, as I say that, John Delaney has spun himself out. I was expecting to get a little mock qualifying run here out of the 6 truck. He's put up a really fast time already. So we'll go ahead and ride on board here with him, see what he can do to build the speed up. Josh, is hot lapping just that drastically different from the Roval or on a road course in terms of race pace versus hot lapping? Are you really using the tires up a lot more? Are you really worrying about tire saving under a green flag run?
Yeah, I think with under a green flag run, you are more concerned with tire wear, especially tonight with it only being a 1 stage, or well, 2 stages rather, from the 3 that we normally have. These guys aren't going to have 2 stage breaks, only the 1 stage break to lead them into the final stage. So I think saving tires is going to be key here. As far as hot lapping goes, I think what we may see in qualifying is a lot of drivers on their out lap going easy and maybe even skipping that backstretch chicane and then getting up to full speed just to kind of help save a little bit of tire. And then I think it probably should be all out on the actual qualifying lap, or hot lap if you will. As right here we see John Delaney not getting a very good out or exit on the front stretch chicane there. Got a little sideways, but I definitely think that saving tires is really going to be key, and just being easy on throttle control.
It's going to be interesting to see how these guys prep themselves for the qualifying session coming up. Get 2.5 minutes to qualifying here on JCTV for the Roval 200 here in the Galaxy Truck Series League. Taking a look at Craig Fryer here. This man has put a lot of laps down, Josh. I've watched some of the practices this week with these guys, and between, I think, the Fryer machine, the number 17 there, and the 94 of Caleb McCurry, these guys have laid down a ton of laps. So I'll ask you another question here as we're doing our pre-race coverage. Does rhythm matter a lot? Getting into that groove just like you do at other tracks?
Oh, most definitely rhythm for sure. Like I said, that the backstretch chicane is really tricky to get into. It just itself, and that's only just one section of this track. So I think having a good rhythm all around is what you want to have. These guys should have practiced all week, maybe even longer, to figure out a rhythm or how to get into the corners, where their braking zones are. These road courses are tough, and I think you're going to see a difference between the boys from the men, if you will.
Absolutely. We're getting ready for qualifying here at Charlotte Roval, the virtual Charlotte Roval for the Galaxy Truck Series. Go ahead and go over a little bit of the good old race weather here at Charlotte. So in sim, we're looking at 81 degrees Fahrenheit, 101 degrees for the track. Winds are out of the south at 7 miles per hour. It's pretty cloudy out here with a little bit of relative humidity. But Josh, something starkly different from the sim to real life is the fact that we have no threat of rain here in the sim. No use of the rain tires. So these guys will have a perfectly dry racetrack for when they tackle this Charlotte Roval.
Yeah, and that's, rain is one thing that iRacing does not have, but with the weather that they are having in Charlotte this weekend. If iRacing did have rain, this race would be a wild one. So I think these drivers are probably happy that there is no rain in the sim, because that's a whole nother beast itself to drive in. I imagine. I've never done it myself on a racetrack, but I can't imagine that it would be easy.
So we see qualifying just getting underway here. Delaney's going to be the first to really jump out here onto the track. We'll see what he can do since he was our fastest driver in the warm-up session prior to this qualifying session. So we'll go ahead and jump on board. Let's see what he can do for lap time here. So Josh talked about how hot lapping is a very different approach than the race pace that you're going to have as a driver. So expect these guys to take it easy on this outlap, but then fully turn it up here in qualifying. Looking like we got about 6, 7, 8 trucks currently pulling out onto the track right now to take some time. It's a 5-minute qualifying session here, which is a little shorter than your normal race, or a normal official session that you may see. As we see, as Josh talked about, John Delaney cut that backstretch chicane, gonna get his tires, I guess, cooled down a little bit. I think he would want to be warming them up, but getting himself prepped for this run here. So 5 minutes with lap times somewhere hovering around the minute 20 seconds, so just about 80 odd seconds. Not a lot of time to qualify, Josh, and we'll see Delaney take the green flag and give it his first shot, putting this truck on pole.
Yeah, so right there it looked like he executed turn 1 pretty well, and through turn 2, now going into turn 3. He's doing everything right, taking the corners pretty wide. He might have missed the apron there going into 4. But he's doing a great job. Looks like he locked up the tires there.
So we see him come up onto the banking here. So far, so good. Besides the lockup, a pretty solid lap. This is going to be the big point here in his lap. One of the most important sections of the track is going to be getting down here into the backstretch chicane. Such a tough braking zone on the slightly banked straightaway down in across the turtles. You got to really utilize the curbs very well. But we saw in the Coke Series race that happened at the Daytona NASCAR road configuration that the turtles can actually be pretty damaging to the stock cars if you hit them just wrong. So we'll see how these guys utilize them tonight. We see Delaney using all of the turtles he can. That was a pretty solid lap out of him. He's going to be one and done. That's a 1:18.55. That might even been faster than his practice session lap. Josh, that was a pretty solid lap from the 6.
That was a really good lap out of Delaney, and I was thinking about choosing him as my pick to win, honestly, because I know how good he is at these road courses. As he used to be on my team.
audio source. Let me switch it.
Oh.
There we go. All right, qualifying has concluded, getting ourselves set for some Roval action here on JCTV. Gonna go ahead and take a look at our grid here tonight for the Roval 200 in the Galaxy Truck Series action. On pole tonight is John Delaney in the 6th truck, who is almost 2 seconds faster than our 2nd place truck, Adam Benefill. So Benefill qualifies 2nd. 3rd tonight, Carl Felver in the 99. 4th, following him, is the 10 of Andrew Shartner. 5th, give that to Joe Gwilt. 6th to Brian Branham. 7th to Alonzo Chicano in the 25. 8th to Chris Landrum. 9th goes to Logan Slavelski. He was last week's winner at Talladega. 10th to Anthony Campbell. 11th to Jimmy Costarellos. 12th to Charlie Brown. Quite the name. 13th to Brian Hayes. 14th to Caleb McCurry. 15th to Alex Brinson. Starting 16th, Dave Fuse Jr. 17th, Craig Fryer. 18th, Cameron Stone, who I think missed the grid here. 19th, Lee Overton. 20th, Joseph Lester. And it also looks like Benefill is going to start from the pit lane. No, there he is on my screen. He will start in his correct position. That's going to round out the 20 drivers making up the field tonight, Josh, as we get ourselves set to go green here at the Roval.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for this one. Last road course on the schedule. Last chance for these guys to show who the road course ringers are. It's going to be a really good one.
They're getting ourselves set for action. 55 total laps, Josh. Lap 25 is the stage. Double stage points in only a single stage. Mid-race stage for these guys. Does that change your strategy at all as you look forward to pitting in this race?
I wouldn't think so. I think with the where the stages are at, it's pretty easy to tell when people are going to pit. I'm not really sure myself how long these trucks can go on a cycle. But they may be able to make it through stage 1. If not, I would expect them to kind of run it all the way until their tank runs out. But it'll be interesting to see.
So in practice, I saw McCurry in the 94 make it 30 laps. So expect these guys to be anywhere between lap 25 and lap 30. So it'll be interesting to see if they can try to make this first stage without having to pit. So these guys come through NASCAR's turns 3 and 4. Such a slow pace speed compared to the oval. And another interesting thing about iRacing is you don't skip this last chicane when you get ready to go. So the pace car is off, getting ready to get the green flag for the number 6 pink Mountain Dew truck of Jonathan Delaney. All set for Roval action. The green flag is in the air, and Delaney's off. Ahead of Benefill, they get a big jump on the 3rd place driver, Carl Felver. So we watch them get down into turn 1 and start the action here at the Roval. Delaney from Benefill from Felver. Shartner falls to 4th. And Brian Branham has moved himself up to 5th.
Yeah, Delaney's doing a great job here, just holding on to that lead. And, you know, I'm very interested to see here. We saw Delaney hit his qualifying lap perfectly, making no mistakes. Now he's got to do that for 55 laps overall in the race. I'm just wondering if he's put in enough practice time that aren't hot laps to be able to feel what race pace is going to be. He should have, again, trying to get this track figured out. But I'm very curious to see if he'll be able to hang on to it for every lap of this race.
So Delaney from Benefil, Felver still holds third, Shartner fourth. We look to fifth and sixth. The battle was on. Gwilt has moved himself back to fifth, I believe. We'll double check my timing score. No, he's actually right there trailing the 74. Branham. Branham is the sole owner of fifth position now. So a good start for the 74. Gets himself moved up as he runs a little wide in T1. He's almost going to hit the wall there. It's going to allow Gwilt to close the gap back up just a little bit on him. But man, those front two, Josh, are just shot out of a cannon compared to the rest of this field. Felver from Shartner there in our picture. Branham wide again. He's making mistakes here on lap 2. Not a good start to getting his rhythm here in this run.
Yeah, he needs to relax, settle down here. Long race. Just take it easy. Maybe, yeah, he let the 74 by. So now just take it easy here and start figuring out the rhythm and try to be very smooth with it.
So we'll take a look at last week's winner, Logan Slavoski. He is currently running 9th, just inside the top 10. Believe it or not, Josh, he's already about 12 seconds, 12 to 15 seconds off the leaders right now. Delaney's still running with Benefil at the moment, crossing the start-finish line. These guys are coming through NASCAR turns 3 and 4. So a lot of spreading out of the field, Josh. Not too many battles happening. I think the closest we're really going to see is that battle for 5th on right now. I believe also Joseph Lester's getting into it a little bit here with a 9 of Alex Princeton, and I'm not sure who that is just in front. Lester's going to line up a move into turn 1. He's not going to be able to hang on to it. But this is probably the closest battle on track we've got going on right now.
Yeah, and that was smart of Lester to kind of back out of making that pass. It wasn't going to work, so he backed out, and now he's actually going to make the pass right here. So it was definitely a smart move. Yeah, on Hayes there. It was a smart move to back out and wait for a better opportunity to make the pass.
I think we've got an issue with one of the drivers here. Yeah, Joe Gwilt has had an off-track excursion. I watched him drop down the order there. We'll try to see if we can catch a replay of what happens here. We'll take a look here for the 37. I think it happens out of turn 5 here. We run a little fast forward. Down here through turn 5 and 6 for the 37. There's a little bit of a lockup. I tell you what, I think he just loops it. Yeah, he loops it as he gets down into the downhill section. There go all the blue cones, Josh. You know, unfortunate incident for Joe Gwilt in the 37. He was running 5th.
Yeah, not what he wanted to have happen for sure. But again, just kind of regroup, figure out his rhythm, and try to make it to the end of the stage here, making minimal mistakes. Minimal to no mistakes is what he wants here. Just kind of ride it out. Try to learn some things of what to do different so he doesn't have that happen again. These road courses, again, they can be very, very tricky. It's way different than what these guys see on a normal basis on just regular ovals.
Oh, we got the 23 backward there, Slavoski. Last week's winner has had an unfortunate incident in almost the same section of the track, turn 6 to turn 7, little downhill section. This will be an interesting rejoin. I think he's going to make it clean, but he just lost all of that track position, Josh.
Yeah, so again, not what a driver wants to see. He just may have gotten on the gas a little bit too soon.
Oh, Lester.
Oh, Lester as well.
Also involved. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys handle this. Josh, we know these guys can go about 25 to 30 laps. Do you expect some of these guys that have had some unfortunate incidents already in the race to potentially change their strategy?
It's very possible that they do. I would expect, maybe somebody that has had an incident to come and pit, check out the damage, get some fresh tires on it, I know we have tire limits.
So I believe the limit is 3 total sets for these Galaxy truckers. They'll use at least one on the stage break, and I believe just one more in the final stage. The final stage is 30 laps. Josh, we'll get to that point, but you don't think anyone will maybe try to shortchange this stage session now?
I don't think so. Not now, at least. Unless if maybe you are one of those that have been spun around, got involved in some incident.
I should say in about 15 laps time, because we do have about just under 20 laps remaining in the first stage.
So I think it depends on who you are. If you're up front, it's really, really hard to say here. I think Dulaney, he's not worried about stage points. He's a cup regular, so these points don't matter to him at all. All he wants is that win and a trip to victory lane at the end of this race. So I would expect somebody like John Dulaney to maybe short pit and have the track position after the stage break. And then go out in that final stage, presumably ahead of his competitors. Maybe if you're somebody in the back, you pit to get the track position as well, ahead of your competitors after the stage break. But I don't know. It's really tough here to call how they want to go about this strategy.
So we look at the 10 of Andrew Schartner. I want to highlight someone we didn't get a chance to see the passes, but the 15 of Jimmy Costarellos has moved himself into third, Josh. He is still about 15 seconds off the lead. He's going to go for a slide. He's actually going to spin out of the final corner. This is unfortunate for the 15. He's got to get that thing refired. Also, Schartner went for a slide. We'll get a chance to look back at these incidents here for these guys, but two drivers in the top 5 making big mistakes right there, and we're still not even halfway through this first state.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate slide for him. I was about to say he's one of these drivers that do really good when you put him on a racetrack and makes very minimal mistakes. But before I could say that, he did have that little bit of an issue there.
We'll take a look here also in the replay of what happened to Andrew Schartner in the 10. He's going to get down here. Oh, I think he caught the AstroTurf, Josh, as he tried to brake down there into the final chicane.
Yeah, that grass, or AstroTurf as you called it, it will bite you. And as we saw there, it bit Andrew Schartner. So
come back to our live TV picture here. We see a little bit of damage on the front end. Josh, is that really going to affect that truck at all throughout tonight's event?
Yeah, a little bit. I think, on these really fast sections of the track, like NASCAR 1 and 2 and NASCAR 3 and 4, that will hurt with the aerodynamics quite a bit. Maybe in the road course sections, like we're about to see him go through here, entering turn 1, all these turns right here, I don't think will hurt him as bad as those really fast sections will. Be interesting to see how much it does slow him down, because it will slow him down regardless, but I think it won't hurt as bad here in this infield.
Giving you a little race recap so far. We got John Dulaney still out front in his pink number 6 Mountain Dew truck. He's actually opened up I believe that's a 10-second gap to our second place driver, Adam Benefill. Quite the stark contrast here for these guys, as we see a spin from a lapper there. I believe that's Anthony Campbell in the 73. It appears to be. He's got some front end damage there, Josh.
And that is a lot of damage as well. Well, maybe not quite as much as I thought it was, but that still is a lot more damage than you want here. Not looking too good for him.
So come back. Benefiel still holding about a 10-second gap. Delaney's built it up right here over these first 9 laps over him. This will be interesting to see how these guys change their pace throughout tonight's event, especially going deeper into the race.
Yeah, so I'm actually really shocked here as far as how much of a gap Delaney has on Benefiel. And I'm wondering if it's because Benefiel is maybe saving his tires a little bit more than Delaney is. We were seeing Delaney just, I mean, flying like he was a horse coming out of the gate in Triple Crown race, if you will. I mean, he was gone, so I'm very curious here to know if Benefiel is maybe just taking it easy, seeing if Delaney's going to make a mistake, because really you've got 2 options here. You can push and hope you don't make a mistake, or be easy and hope others make a mistake and capitalize on them. So I'm wondering if, Benefiel here is like I said, taking it easy to save tires, or maybe thinking Delaney might make a mistake here.
So as a reminder, the first stage actually ends at the completion of lap 25, the first and only mid-race stage in the event for the Galaxy Truck Series here at the Roval 200. These guys do road courses just a little differently than you see normally on Friday nights, Saturdays in the Truck Series, where they only run 1 stage, and it is double points. So very, very heavily paying for the Galaxy Truck Series regulars, unlike your front 2 here, Jonathan Delaney and Adam Benefiel. We'll actually highlight the driver back to 3rd. He got by Costarellos there after Costarellos' mistake. Carl Felver in the 99, holding true here on the road course. We don't get to call his name too much on the ovals. He's a very solid driver, but he's really shining here on the road course.
Yeah, doing a great job here. Holding his own. Gonna get passed on the outside. He does a good job entering the front stretch chicane.
So you saw that pass basically line up off of the backstretch chicane. Costarellos just got a much better run through there. And, Josh, I mean, your passing zones are few and far between here at the Roval, but I'd have to imagine that even the banked corners that we get on the ovals, we see the 73 having more issues in the wall right there. Thankfully, it was just enough off circuit for these guys, but even the bank corners, they got to play themselves more so like a straightaway for these guys, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Double check here, see if Campbell, he's still limping it around right now. Unfortunately, he is 1 lap down to our leader. There's one other driver that has gone 1 lap down as well. It's the 23 of Logan Slavoski, has unfortunately lost the lap now to our leader, John Duke. Next in danger is actually the 86, Brian Hayes. We saw him up there battling mid-pack, and must have unfortunately had a mistake. Let's put him back here just in the clutches of the leader, and there he goes. He's going to be the first truck 1 lap down. He's actually now in position, Josh, for the lucky dog. John's got a little bit of ways to go to catch the next driver in front. I believe it's the 37 of Joe Gwilt, another one that had an unfortunate incident earlier in the race. So there's Gwilt there coming up onto the banking. Delaney is now the background of one of our shots here. He just came up on the banking, so we'll see how quickly he can close in on Joe Gwilt in the 37, potentially to put that truck 1 lap down. 12 laps, working lap 12, excuse me, in the Roval 200 here on JCTV for the Galaxy Truck Series League. Seeing John Delaney pull quite a hefty margin right now over Adam Benefiel. I believe Adam's lost even more time here, Josh. I think he may have made another mistake. We'll see if we can catch it on our replay. May unfortunately not be able to catch that on the replay. Regardless, Adam has given up a lot more time to John. Yeah, John. And now the gap is 22.5 seconds at the moment to the lead. And I'll tell you, a driver who is closing in slowly but surely on Adam Benefiel now after his mistake is this guy right here, the 15 of Jimmy Costarellos. Is really starting to work his way back into the picture.
Yeah, Costarellos, he's doing a great job recovering from that spin earlier. Like I said, a driver that doesn't make too many mistakes often when you put him on a racetrack. So, really doing a great job here, recovering from his spin, learning from his mistakes, and wondering if that's the last time we're going to see a mistake out of him tonight. He's a great guy, a great driver.
So right on board here with Costarellos. We'll get a feel for how these guys take a race lap around this circuit here in the 15 truck. So heading into this backstretch chicane, Josh, you highlighted it in qualifying. This is one of the toughest portions of the track. And I tell you what, Jimmy really carries a lot of speed down in there.
Yeah, I mean, you want to enter really hot, or come into it really hot, but at the same time get slowed down enough. You're going to basically be using all of the brakes that your truck has just to get into the corner. And so it almost, sometimes when you enter that chicane, it just feels like you're going way too fast and you're never going to make the corner. You've just got to downshift at the right times and make it stick.
Then continue to ride on board here with Costarellos. So Josh, I've seen it utilized a little bit in official sessions, but give me a little insight in the stock cars. Are these guys going to use the apron at all anywhere around the circuit, mainly the oval apron?
No, I don't think so. I think basically the only apron usage you'll see here is just out of the backstretch chicane, and it won't even be long that they'll use that. It'll just be a quick right out of the chicane, kind of cut that a little bit and get right back out onto the track to hit the banking going into what's NASCAR 3 and 4.
So we'll take a look back here at our leader, John Delaney. He's working through some traffic right now. He's actually put a couple more drivers a lap down. We said Joe Gwilt was up next. Well, Gwilt has unfortunately lost his lap. Now the 7 of Dave Fuse Jr. has also lost a lap. So there's a couple guys losing a lap here early in this stage, or early in this race. Still haven't even gotten out of the stage. Coming up on the mid-race break here in about 7 laps. As we see an big moment there for Charlie Brown, clipping the wall a little bit. That almost caught our leader, John Delaney, out. And Josh, that could have been Delaney's race done and over with if he would have gotten into Charlie Brown in just the wrong fashion.
Yeah, he is absolutely lucky there that that didn't go as bad as it could have.
Oh, we see an incident there into turn 1. Not sure who that was, stuck sideways there on the track. See if we can catch that back here on the replay. I believe that's the 74 of Brian Branham. Yeah, we catch him in progress. He already lost the truck at that point, but thankfully for him, he just skates behind Charlie Brown there. What a move from Charlie. Make sure he didn't get into that. And Branham gets himself pointed back in the right direction. Fortunately, losing a lot of time right there. He's right back into pretty much the main pack that Delaney just lapped is this pack that these guys are running around here. Look at the battle. There's Adam Benefiel getting through this lap traffic now. Second place, just almost through this entire train. Behind Joe Gwilt, Brian Branham, Craig Fryer in here, and Dave Fuse Jr. as well as the 86 of Brian Hayes. All right there, nose to tail almost for these guys. As we see Branham make a move on Gwilt coming out of the backstretch chicane. So we have Delaney from Benefiel. Benefiel is working himself through the traffic now. I think he just got clear of the last truck, which was Charlie Brown up there. So Benefiel is now going to try to track down our leader again. Gap still is... Oh, excuse me. Benefiel is actually a lap down, Josh. Adam has made a pit stop in this race. He made a quick stop just 2 laps ago that we unfortunately missed for the 83. Excuse me, 81. So Adams actually was just battling through all these guys. It'll be interesting if he can get himself back up toward John, because you see right there ahead in our picture that John just put Lee Overton a lap down up here, which now gives Overton the lucky dog position. Now, actually, excuse me, that position is now Andrew Shartner's. Shartner has gone a lap down to our leader as well. Now 16 also is potentially going to end up a lap down out of this. Chris Landrum, losing a lap. Delaney, that's the end of the train there. So Adam's got a little bit of an uphill climb here with just a few laps remaining in the stage. Looking at about 6 laps remaining in the stage here, Josh. And Benefiel's going to have a little bit of a challenge to make sure he can get back to that lucky dog spot.
Yeah, got a lot of trucks that he's going to have to pass. And actually, we just had Alex Princeton, who was running P5, have an issue there, and he's no longer in the session. So it looks like we're only going to have 5 trucks on the lead lap. I wonder if Delaney is going to run this out.
Oh, Benefiel
with a spin.
He did tag the wall there a little bit. That's going to hamper his progress trying to get the lucky dog spot.
Not what he wanted to see at all, Eric.
I'll catch him in the progress here. Looks like I'd say that's just a little too much power loose on throttle, Josh.
Yeah, it's probably what that exactly is for Benefiel. He just maybe a little bit too excited on the gas pedal, and that spun him around.
So we'll take a look back here, coming back to our live picture. Adam working his way through the traffic once more. He has one more driver to get to before the end of the stage in about 5 laps time. It's a 16 truck up the road of Chris Landry. Chris is 10 seconds up the road. Just coming out of the backstretch chicane there as we hear, and then Adam comes down here into the backstretch chicane. That Team Conti machine needs a little bit of luck on his side to make sure he catches Chris here before the end of the stage. Josh, I believe you have a chance to catch up with our in-race reporter who fell out of the race here, unfortunately. Logan Slavoski, unfortunately falling out. Josh, I believe you had a chance to catch up with him.
Hey, Logan, it's Josh in the JCTV booth. You got a copy?
I got you here. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Would ask how you're doing, but doesn't sound like it's going too well for you. Explain to us what happened.
Oh, it's a shame to be talking to you here so early, but just overdriving the car real early. Came up over the hill there in the infield section, going down the hill, and it just spun out. And from there, it was kind of over. We had to tape up to 50 there, so it was kind of high already, but just smashed the nose in and already made the car hot. And before I could get to pit road, it just blew the engine, and that was the end, unfortunately.
Well, definitely not what you wanted to see at all. Next week we go and visit, I believe, Kansas. Is that a track that you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to Kansas. Pretty good there in the official series back there in May, and I know I've had a lot of success there, some truck wins especially, but it's a different type of racing, difficult to pass. It's going to be one lane track, unfortunately, but I think some guys will be able to set their cars up to be able to run the bottom and the top and be able to make passes. So I think it should be an interesting week and leading up to it, and hopefully the OSS guys come out there with a good setup.
Eric, do you have any questions?
Well, Logan, unfortunately, it's an early exit. Josh pretty much covered the one I was going to ask you. Do you look forward to getting back to an oval in Kansas? How has the OSS guys been on the mile and a half tracks?
We're pretty good there at the mile and a halfs, and I think I have pretty good confidence in our program there for the mile and a halfs. I'm looking forward to just getting back to an oval and just making lap turns.
Alrighty, Logan. Well, I'll let you get back to your team. Hopefully, we'll see maybe a little bit of a recovery from Lee here. He's fortunately one lap down, but might be able to struggle back in. Delaney setting a blistering pace out here. But Logan, thank you for taking the time for being our in-race reporter this week. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to speak with you next week at Kansas.
Thanks, guys. Hope to see you in Victory Lane next week, Kansas. Have a good night.
All right, so that was a 23 driver, the number 23, Logan Silvosky. Last week's winner at Talladega, unfortunately falling out early here at the Roval. We saw a little incident there while we were in the interview. The 86 of Brian Hayes had some issues there in the backstretch chicane. Has since gathered it back up. Fortunately, he is now well one lap down. No real chance at a lucky dog. I'll tell you what, the amazing pace here from John Delaney it's just incredible how this driver has put almost the entire field a lap down, and it's only in the first stage. He has Chicano in the 25 is the next driver up the road for him to lap. Alonso is just now in NASCAR turn 4. Delaney just coming off of NASCAR turn 2. That's not exactly half a lap. It's a little bit less with the road course configuration here at the Charlotte Roval. We're right on board here with the 6 of John Delaney. And just how he's attacking this probably a little bit differently than the rest of the drivers in our field. Just say John's, like we were just mentioning, setting a blistering pace out there. His lap times are solidly a second faster than second place right now. Second now belongs to, after Benefield's pit stop, belongs to Jimmy Costarellos in the 15. Jimmy is 45 and a half seconds behind Delaney there. So just an absolute scorching pace set by this 6 truck. With the stage fast approaching. Just probably about 2.5 laps remaining here in this stage. As we see John catch up to the lap truck, the 73 of Anthony Campbell. There's a pretty good indication, and now Campbell was giving up the spot, but just a good indication of how John is so solid getting down there into that backstretch chicane. He's probably the best we've seen all week in the practices leading up to tonight's race. Get through this section right here, both in the Cup Series and in the Truck Series. John has been very solid and put his laps in on this road course. Take a look. Our closest battle on track right now, it actually belongs to Dave Fuge. He's wheel hopping down into the backstretch chicane. It just shows you how on edge these drivers are getting down into these corners. Dave is just up. The yellow machine there in the back of our picture is Craig Fryer in the 17. This is a battle for 9th position here with these guys. I believe that is a lap truck behind them, or a lead lap truck behind them. The 15 of Jimmy Costarello's second place, just catching up to these guys. So this is a battle one lap down, but it is a battle for 9th nonetheless. And some well-earned stage points up for grabs here between these guys. Fryer's going to give up time to Costarellos. We'll see if Dave eventually does the same here, if he's going to try to utilize this to keep his gap. Just under 2 laps remaining here in the stage. Delaney still your leader from Costarellos, as we saw there. Felver still solidly holding on to 3rd. And Alonso Chocano, your point leader in the Galaxy Truck Series, running 4th right now. Those are the 4 drivers on the lead lap. The first driver 1 lap down is Chris Landrum in the 16. He is ahead. Benefiel, unfortunately, has fallen out of the session, choosing to unfortunately end his night early in that 81 truck. Did not go to plan for Adam Benefiel. So Branham and Schartner just swap positions over here. I think Schartner might have had another issue. So see his truck moving very slowly on the top of the track there. Princeton's going to get on by him, as well as Hayes in the 86. And we see some more right side damage on the 10 there. Must have had an incident just this lap. We mentioned at the top of the broadcast, unfortunately, Cameron Stone is not actually participating in tonight's event. He is our race control for tonight, getting ready to throw the stage yellow when they eventually come up to it here in just about a lap's time. Delaney's pretty much going to have most of the field a lap down. Landrum's looking solid. He's 9 seconds up on Gwilt for the Lucky Dog right now. As we look to the last remaining driver in the lead lap, Alonso Chicano. A little bit of front end damage there, as Josh explained earlier. Shouldn't affect these guys too much, maybe a little bit on the high speed sections. The only other thing I worry about with front end damage is the cooling capacity of the front of the truck. If that radiator still in there is able to keep the truck cool enough, if these guys are going to have to pull some tape off. We see some pit stops have happened as well. Not sure if this is really good for the guys that are still, or the guys that are 1 lap down. We saw Brown and Overton already make stops, as well as Princeton has made a stop as well. Princeton's now 3 laps down though, unfortunately. Overton and Brown are still 1 lap down each. So we'll wait for race control. There it is. The caution for the stage finish. John Delaney, your stage winner. And what a stage it was, Josh, from that 6 truck. Absolutely dominant out here in just 25 laps.
Yeah, that was a dominating run for sure by Delaney. He's got to be happy with how that run turned out, Eric, and I assume he's going to just keep that momentum from winning this stage on into the final stage here that's coming up shortly when we go back green. For Jimmy Costarellos, who got second in that, he made a great recovery from his spin, finishing second in that stage, like I said. So as long as he can try to be mistake free, he might actually have something to say for Delaney. All these other guys, they're a lap down. It's going to be really hard now for anybody to try to compete and say something with Delaney.
So cleaning up our stage finish there, John Delaney from Jimmy Costarellos, as Josh mentioned there. Carl Felver, probably his highest stage finish in the Galaxy Truck Series right there, 3rd place at the end of the stage. Alonso Chicana, our point leader, the only other driver on the lead lap, finishes 4th there in that stage. Chris Landrum, the first driver, 1 lap down, going to be the lucky dog under this yellow, finished 5th in the stage. Joe Gwilt, 6th. Dave Hughes Jr., 7th. Brian Branham, 8th. Brian Hayes in 9th. Craig Fryer, 10th. Andrew Shartner, 10th in that first stage. The first guys on tires. Charlie Brown presumably will stay out here. It's actually might be a good move for him. He should cycle around back onto the lead lap here and gain a lot of spots on these guys, I believe, Josh, because he is only 1 lap down. He has made his stop already, as well as Overton and Princeton. So I said it might not have been a great strategy call. Might just be the right one for those guys battling the other guys that are 1 lap down that most likely will have to make a stop here under yellow.
Yeah, so the guys that did take a pit stop in that stage, they'll be able to stay out here, get a lap back, take a wave around. They won't be able to pit, and then they'll actually have to restart behind the leaders. But at least they'll be back on the lead lap, and everybody's going to have to pit in this final stage. So I wonder if for some of these guys, short pitting is the way to go to maybe try their hand out in getting ahead of Delaney and seeing if they can hold him off. Again, we know he's going to be fast, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of strategy calls are made and see if anybody can stop that 6 truck from having more dominance in this race.
So we see them rolling down pit road here. The 6 of Delaney pulls into his box. There he was, our pole sitter. He gets the first say in pit stalls. So we'll see him take his pit service here. As well as a lot of these other guys making their stops. I believe, Josh, the lap down cars are also making their stops at the same time. Pit road appears to be open to them as well. A couple of guys have chosen to stay out currently. The 16 of Landrum, the 146 of Charlie Brown, which we expected since he made his stop before the stage, yellow. Caleb McCurry still out here, as well as Lee Overton, another one that made his stop, also choosing to stay out as he made his stop just before the stage break.
Yeah, so I expect those guys to stay out, like I said, get the wave around, and come back and get to the end of the pack. Be interesting to see, again, what kind of strategy they do call for the final stage here coming up.
So Josh, I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, fuel window appears to be no more than 30 laps. It's pretty much an easy 1 stop for these guys here in this final stage.
Yeah, possibly. We might go back green here quickly, so I don't know. It'd be interesting for sure.
So currently working with 27 laps remaining. It's gonna be right on the edge of that fuel window. Josh, I know the fuel window might not last, but would you be more comfortable taking that 1 stop, getting those tires, since you do have the extra set laying in the pits?
I don't know. Be pretty interesting here that they do have that extra if you're Delaney, you know, he's been perfect all race. I'm not really too sure here.
So a cleanup here for this restart. Landrum was the lucky dog. He's working on catching the tail end of the field. A couple waiver rounds that are going to be getting their laps back as well as we work under this caution period. Brown in the 146, McCurry in the 94, the 96 of Overton as well. All getting laps back. McCurry's the only one that has not made a stop in this stage break yet, or in this race yet. So we get set to go back green. Halfway in the race. So these guys are going to be right on the fringes, as we talked about, of the fuel window to make it to the end of the race. We'll see what lane Delaney decides to go with here. You see in the background those lappers. Now getting back on the lead lap, utilizing the wave around, working on catching back up to the field. It's going to be a tall task for them to get all the way back around, because there's even some guys that made some stops that haven't made their way all the way back up to the field yet. First driver that is making his wave around is 73, Campbell, leading this charge, and he's just now getting into that final chicane. He's actually going to cut this chicane. This will be interesting to see if he can make sure to get the time penalty cleared. As well as the field is working through NASCAR Turn 2, so it'll be quite the chase for these guys to get back up. And this will be interesting to see if they do make it back, Josh, as these guys get set to go green. How much panic does that put in you as a driver? Especially, see right there, the field's working down the backstretch toward the backstretch chicane. How much panic does that put into you as a driver to hustle your truck and potentially make a mistake while under yellow? We'll see a mistake there. Two mistakes. Campbell and Brown both off track, saving their trucks, but I guess that answers my question, Josh. A lot of pressure for these guys to make sure they catch the field back.
Yeah, a lot of pressure for sure. You know, if it's an oval, I might not be too worried because we know, or we may get another, you know, caution for a disaster. But here, there's not going to be another caution. We know it's just going to be green to the end. So
well,
I'd be a little bit more worried about that.
We see the lights back on the pace car. So, believe Cam Stone, our race admin, was able to help those guys out, give them an extra lap to get themselves all caught up. See a couple guys actually utilizing it, taking presumably what would be their final stop. Shartner and Princeton coming down. Shartner's 1 lap down. Princeton is 3 down, so he's unfortunately not too much of a factor in tonight's event. But Shartner's going to go ahead and take a stop. And I believe, Josh, that should make it good on fuel. We're 26 laps from the finish right there. Be 25 to go when we get back to green flag racing, and that first stage was 25 laps, and we saw all those guys making on fuel. I imagine they wouldn't even use 1 extra lap of fuel here. I imagine they can make it to the end of the stage from stopping right there, or the end of the race, excuse me.
Yeah, they'll be able to make it to the end of the race for sure. So I wouldn't expect any pitting from these guys.
Lights are off the iRacing Mustang pace car. We'll wait for Delaney to go ahead and choose his lane again. Appears he won at the top by what we saw there on the delayed green. So 6 truck's going to take drivers right. The outside lane. Costarellos going to be on the bottom for this restart. So, Josh, we've seen it quite a bit at the Roval and the Cup Series. Do you think we're going to see a Tums heartburn turn moment down here in turn 1 on a restart with these guys?
Oh, we might. It's going to be a wild restart. These guys know what they have under their hoods now and how their truck has been handling all race. So we might just very well see one. This is, I think, going to be a wild restart.
So a little race weather update. Same ambient, the wind's actually a little stronger for these guys. It's not going to play too much part, but the big thing, Josh, is the track temperature down already 6 degrees. I imagine that just gives these guys more grip through these corners.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to do, Eric. Is it's going to add more grip, so these guys, it will help turn the trucks just a little bit, but I wouldn't imagine that it would be a huge difference from when we started.
So the pace car is going to make its left-hand turn down into pit lane. Going to release the field into the hands of the 6 of John Delaney. He's going to go early this time. Big jump from the 6. He's already cleared by 2 truck lengths. We are back to green flag racing here at the Charlotte Roval in the Galaxy Truck Series League Racing action. Delaney shot out of a cannon on this restart over Costarellos, and Felver still filing into 3rd. What a jump there from that 6 truck.
Yeah, he kind of did what I was expecting him to do when I saw him take the driver's right on that restart, was go early and use that right-hander in the chicane to the advantage, get that shorter distance going into it, already have 2nd place of Costarellos clear.
So Delaney already out to a pretty healthy margin. The battle's on for 4th. Excuse me, 5th. Between Charlie. Now they got me all messed up because I got some lappers mixed into this. I see Hayes was 5th in track position, lost that to Gwilt. They're actually the first trucks 1 lap down, 9th and 10th there. Joe Gwilt in the 37, Brian Hayes in the 86. Trailing him was Dave Fuse Jr. in the 7. And tell you what, with these guys being a lap down mixed in here, that just gets me all sorts of backwards, Josh. I imagine it's pretty tough from a driver's standpoint, trying to figure out who is a lap down, who you're racing, especially getting later and later into this race.
Yeah, so they do have a relative that they can use and see who's lap down compared to who's on the lead lap, Eric. And these guys that, you know, Dave Fuge, Brian Hayes, and Joe Gwilt, you know, they were all close to each other. They're all racing for 9th. So that they still got positions that they can gain. So it can be a little bit frustrating for the drivers that are on the lead lap that are behind them, trying to get past so that the drivers on the lead lap can gain positions. But it can be frustrating for the lap down trucks as well, trying not to ruin anybody's race, but still try to make positions on their own.
So battle for 3rd starting to heat up a little bit here. Alonso Chicano, our point leader, the 25 truck there, chasing the 99 of Carl Felver into the final chicane here on the front stretch. We got a battle there, and a battle actually back for 11th between Dave Hughes Jr., Brian Branham, and Craig Fryer. So those guys are battling away. That's not actually the battle for the lucky dog position, if there were to be a yellow in this final stage. Pretty much, Josh, I think the Galaxy precedent here on the road courses is if you get a huge pileup, you're going to get a caution thrown, but pretty much otherwise, small incidents aren't going to trigger the yellow here in iRacing, so you're not going to see a yellow as Chicano goes for a wild ride there through turn 6. What a save from the point leader there. Loses time to Felver, but I tell you what, I think that makes up for the fact that he did not just junk his truck right there in turn 6.
Yeah, that was a good job on him not to junk the truck. He's got a huge points lead over second place, which I believe is Joseph Lester at this point. I'd have to double check, but I think Alonso might clinch after this race. We'll have to find out. That's not official, but he might just clinch the championship after this race, Eric.
So Chicano has a huge point lead over the Galaxy. Next Galaxy Truck Series regular in the series. The next regular is actually Anthony Gornieri, who is already 145 points back. Don't believe Josh Gornieri made a start tonight, so that gap is just going to be even bigger for the 25 of Alonso Chicano. I'm going to turn it over to you guys with the volume controls with a little bit of JCTV Turn It Up here at the Charlotte Roval. Welcome back to coverage of the Roval 200 here on Josh Coppernoll Television. The Galaxy Truck Series Racing League here on the iRacing service, a virtual Charlotte Roval for a 55-lap event. 17 circuits still remaining here, 16 when this guy right here, the 6 truck of John Delaney, gets to the line. Bring back in my broadcast partner, Josh Coppernoll. Josh, it's amazing this lead that this 6 truck has built up.
Yeah, Eric, I knew John was going to be really fast. I knew he was going to have a great truck tonight, but I wasn't expecting this kind of dominance. We see a little bit of damage on the front of his truck. As I think I saw him flirt with the wall a couple times, but he's still doing a great job. Has an 18, almost 19-second lead over second place Jimmy Costarellos. That's impressive. John Delaney, he's one that you always want to watch coming to these road courses, and I'm telling you, he's going to be a threat in the Cup race tomorrow as well.
So yes, we do have coverage of the Galaxy Cup Series tomorrow night as well at the Charlotte Roval on 3 Wide TV with the guys, Carlos and his crew, over on their YouTube channel. Make sure you check out 3 Wide TV here on YouTube and find coverage of the Galaxy Truck Series, or excuse me, the Galaxy Cup Series on Saturday nights. We get to bring you the Galaxy Truck Series here on JCTV. Here on Friday nights. Those nights move forward if there is a real-life Cup Series event on a Saturday night. The Galaxy Leagues, Josh, you're the owner of and the mastermind behind it all. So I'll go with a little bit of an impromptu segment. Tell us a little more about what Galaxy is all about.
Well, I had the envision of starting up a league to really have fun, do stuff differently, try stuff differently than what you normally see other leagues do. It'd been a dream of mine since about 2017 when I joined iRacing, and we hadn't been able to get there till about late last year. Somebody named Stephen Bartlett hopped into a team that I was a part of, and I was talking to him about wanting to start a league up, and he said, "Let's do it." And I was really shocked at his response for that, and I was like, "All right, I mean, if you're serious, for sure, let's go about doing this." He did a lot of research of what people wanted to see Galaxy, or what people wanted for leagues, and we ultimately started a full distance Cup Series that races on Saturday nights, and then in July, Ryan Samuelson started the Truck Series that we have here. Still growing. We've actually got a Galaxy like Formula One type series called Formula Galaxy, owned and operated by Daniel Fields, who races some truck races and part of the Cup Series as well. We have some talks of other series starting next year that I'm not going to go into too much detail with yet, but really happy with where Galaxy has gone as a whole, and all 3 series, even the Formula Galaxy, it's all 100% race distance, and I think 2021 is going to be our best year yet for everything in all the series, because the trucks in the Formula Galaxy have started kind of late from where the Cup Series started. So trucks in the Formula Galaxy are just getting started. And come 2021, all three series should really be big and strong, Eric.
Yeah, so the Galaxy is definitely one of the only places you'll find on iRacing. Give you full distance, hyper-realistic action here. Well, coming back to the Roval 200 here, John Delaney still leading by a very healthy margin of 22 seconds over second place in the 15 truck, Jimmy Costarellos. Third place, the battle kind of keeps somewhat heating up and then falling away. The fourth place runner of Alonso Chicano having a little bit of trouble minimizing his mistakes to try to close back in on the 99 of Carl Felver. Felver with probably my driver of the night. Just an amazing run from this guy, who hasn't had quite the same luck on the ovals. He's really showing his road course prowess here on such a difficult road course.
Yeah, Alonso is doing a good job tonight. Just kind of holding his own, sitting in fourth, big points lead. So he's doing a good job at what he has to do to prove why he should keep that lead, and hopefully by the end of the season be crowned champion.
Yeah, so we talked about it earlier in the broadcast, just how big of a point lead he has over the next Galaxy Truck Series regular. Now, these guys are in only half season, as you mentioned, starting back in July. So, I mean, Josh, as a driver, still gives you bragging rights for what was technically the first point-scoring race season in the Galaxy Truck Series, but it's not a full season to show a full picture to these guys.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of think that this season, will have more or less an asterisk next to it, if you will. But if you're Alonso Chicano, you can't have anything taken away from this season. He's done a great job. He deserves to be called the champion, and albeit if he does win the championship, he definitely has earned it and deserves to be called champion. And see if he's able to go out next year and actually do it in a full season. He's a really talented driver, for sure. Like I said a couple times earlier in the broadcast, most winningest Truck Series regular through all these guys. So I expect him, if he does come back next year and race the trucks, I definitely expect him to be a title contender next year as well.
Absolutely. We hope to see Alonso next year in the Truck Series still, but he does have the opportunity in the Galaxy ecosystem to make that step up to the Cup Series as well. It'll be interesting to see what the silly season, the off season, brings for these guys. Right on board with 25 of Alonso Chicano. He has closed the gap to the driver in front of him right out there, Carl Felver in the 99. Josh, this has to be one of my favorite camera shots, whether in real life or here in the sim. The nose shot as we look at Carl Felver trying to keep the position ahead. Alonso Chicano closing in on him from behind.
Yeah, the nose shot is a very good camera for sure. It really shows, the closing rate you can gain on other drivers right there. You just see how it seems like Carl Felver just got so much bigger in the picture going into the backstretch chicane. Felver looks like got a little bit better of an exit off the backstretch chicane than Chicano did. Now through the front stretch chicane. Still looks like a better advantage. Now here is my favorite camera view. The driver driver cam, you can see exactly what the driver is seeing in the sim, seeing that wheel movement. I definitely love this in real life as well as on the sim, watching other people drive. Because in the sim, this is kind of when you're driving, this is the normal. So this view right here, from broadcast perspective, it's an awesome view to see how other drivers are when you're not so tense, trying to drive the vehicle yourself.
So we'll see how Alonso works on. You see how early to get on the brakes on the backstretch. See how he works to try to close the gap here. It looks like he got a slightly better run. He definitely got a huge run there through the backstretch chicane. Felver not able to put the gas down. And there he goes out the rear. So move Alonso Chicano, our point leader, into third right there, passing Carl Felver late here in the race, just inside. 10 laps remaining, 9 to go as these guys cross the line here. Delaney with that 28-second lead just keeps growing. Less than what he did in the first stage. Not as quite the same blistering pace. Josh, I imagine he is taking care of his tires and trying to handle himself for the remaining portion of this race.
At this rate, I don't see why there's any reason to push if your name is John Delaney. And actually, Felver is going to spin right behind Alonso.
So we're looking at a replay right now of Lee Overton in the 96. I think his night's over. He just spun out of turn 1. And I think you just mentioned that Carl Felver had an issue as well. We'll see. Overton reset his truck. So Felver, go ahead. A little bit of on-screen fast forwarding here. Yep, there he goes out of turn 4 there for the 99. Give one more look at it from our different angle here. So down here through the turns 3 and 4, complex, cutting right for turn 4. Josh, I imagine that's the same thing as I mentioned earlier, just a little bit of on throttle spinning.
Yeah, I definitely think that's what it was. You know, these are older tires. It can bite you, and it looks like it did in that case there for Carl Felver.
So unfortunate from the 99 truck in his battle to try to get back to Alonso Chicano. That gives Chicano smooth sailing in third place. Jimmy Costarello still running second, with Delaney still holding his lead up front. As I mentioned, Delaney on maybe a compromise, taking it easy pace. He's open to another 10 seconds on Costarello. I imagine Costarello might have had an issue, or Delaney heard us on the broadcast somehow and is opening his lead back up as fast as he can. Josh, we haven't seen any stops since the caution, except for 2 drivers, but I believe that was to fix damage for those guys. The 17 of Craig Fryer and the 7 of Dave Hughes Jr. made stops here in this final stage. Looks like they were only just down pit lane, though. I'm not registering any stop time, so maybe a little bit of damage fixed for those guys, but no one taking the strategy of potentially splitting the stage in half. It does look like they did have enough fuel to get to the end of the stage. So how about we give you a little bit of through the field here on JCTV. Just 7 laps remaining, but these are 7 long laps. Your leader, John Delaney, he is absolutely set. One of the most amazing paces we've seen in any Galaxy race, Truck Series or Cup Series tonight. Just banging out lap after lap, gaining more and more time on his competition behind him. He's already got almost 40 seconds now on Jimmy Costarello in second. Josh, you have more on Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy Costarello, he's done an incredible job from that early spin to regroup and get cool, calm, and collected behind the number 15 truck. He's done a great job, got up to second, finished second in stage 1, and hasn't looked back. So doing a great job for the 15 of Jimmy Costrelos, and going to pull out a great finish here as long as he continues to stay mistake-free here in the closing laps. Eric?
Riding third, our point leader, we highlighted his battle with the 99 of Carl Felver, but the 25 of Alonso Chicano still in third place. He's not really gained too much time, it looks like, here on Jimmy Costrelos, but it's a solid night for the 25 bunch. Again, Josh mentioned earlier in our broadcast, not sure officially if he has a chance to clinch it, but this can pretty much give it at this point to this driver of the 25 Chevy Silverado. Anthony Guarnieri, his closest competition, didn't make his start tonight in the Galaxy Truck Series. That was already a 150-point gap, so with just a few races, less than a handful of races remaining here in 2020 for the Galaxy Truck Series, Alonso Chicano looking good, especially with this third place run here going tonight.
Carl Felver, as you mentioned earlier, Eric, he's not really one that we talk much about on ovals, but he's looking really good here on the road side of things, sitting fourth place. Very far distance between him and our leader, but as it's well over a minute and 6 seconds behind the 6 trucker John Delaney, but he's doing a really good job here. Had a couple mistakes, but nothing too major out of the number 99 of Carl Felver. He's last truck on the lead lap. So he's setting himself pretty good to get a top 5 finish and ride out of here with some momentum.
He's going to make a pit stop.
Well, that's really shocking here as we're coming to just a few laps to go, but he is going to make a pit stop, and we'll see what he takes here.
So looking at the 99 truck here, and haven't really seen the jacks go up, right, Josh? I haven't seen either side go up on this truck. Not sure why he's pulled it to the pit lane, but he's in here for what is much longer than a normal 4-tire pit stop. Interesting scenes here at the Roval for the 99 truck, who was running 4th, sitting on pit road.
Yeah, and there actually goes the right side of the truck. Up in the air, so not exactly sure. He must have had some damage that needed to be fixed for him to bring it down pit roads, because he did eventually get 4 fresh tires on that truck, and now he's back out on the track, but he's a lap down now.
I mean, he did have the time, it looks like, to give up, because the next driver behind him actually is Chris Landrum. And looking at it, actually, Landrum might have made the pass. He did make the pass on Felver here. So interesting from the 99. Not sure if he had something going on outside of the sim that he had to pull down. You see the pit stop time there of 50.5 seconds. That's not going to bode well if he ends up giving up that spot here late in the race. Chris Landrum is 8 seconds up the road. He's got to try to make that up in 3 laps. Josh, I'm not sure if Felver is able to do that.
Yeah, I don't think he will be able to. I mean, he does have 4 fresh tires on it. He can push really hard to try to gain those positions, but I don't think it's enough in just those short laps remaining.
So we'll have to keep our eye on the 99 of Carl Felver, see if he can make the spots up. Actually, Landrum has an issue there, and that's going to catch Felver out. And Felver's in the wall.
And Alonso Chicano.
Unbelievable.
Almost, got in there.
That's got to kill the 99's truck. I mean, he hit that wall almost square head on.
Yeah, that was not a pretty hit for him at all.
And a driver that snuck through that as well, outside of our point leader and third place runner, Chicano, is this guy right here. Joe Gwilt moves himself into fourth place. What a change of events here inside 3 to go. Just a mistake from Landrum, it looked like. We'll see if we can maybe catch that post-race, in a post-race interview. Or replay, excuse me. But the real beneficiary is we see the brake rotor glow on that 37. That's a pretty cool shot right there. But yeah, Joe Gwilt's going to be the real bandit there. He's going to take away fourth place. And he's maintaining his gap to the driver that just crossed our picture there in the 99 of Carl Felver.
Well, Delaney just took the white flag.
So 1 lap remaining here for the drivers. Dominated this race. Still holding a 45-second gap to Costarellis in second. John Delaney just setting that blistering pace tonight with an incredible run through turns 6 and 7. Nice and easy. This driver has nothing. Basically, at this point, he has everything to give up. He's got 40 to 45 seconds in the bag. Timing and scoring, catching it at different loops, but what a run from this 6 truck.
Yeah, he's done an incredible job staying mistake-free all night long. Started on the pole, has led every single lap, Eric, and almost didn't get out of the backstretch chicane cleanly, but all he has is just one more chicane to get through, and John Delaney will be the winner.
So from an incredible qualifying effort to one of the most dominant performances in Galaxy history, John Delaney in the 6 truck, your winner of the Roval 200 in the Galaxy Truck Series. What a run from that driver there. Believe it or not, second place it's not even close yet to finishing his race. Costarellos coming in the backstretch chicane now. Pretty well clear. I think he's some 25, 26 seconds clear of Chicano there in third. So we'll follow along with Costarellos coming around the final 2 bank corners on the Charlotte Roval into the final chicane. Great second place run for this SPR driver, Jimmy Costarellos in the 15. But Josh, the real story is right here with Alonso Chicano. We'll also watch this battle for fourth that is happening behind him with Joe Gwilt and Carl Felver. But confirmation from League Racing admins tonight here, Josh. With this third place finish for Alonso Chicano, he's going to be your 2020 Galaxy Truck Series champion. Alonso Chicano taking him with third place and clinching the 2020 championship. Joe Gwilt finishes fourth there in the background. Just hanging on to fourth over Felver behind him. And that is really going to be gutting to Carl Felver in that 99. But Josh, solid year from the 25 of Chicano. He brings home our championship tonight.
Yeah, it is a great job by Chicano for sure. He's led the points for pretty much all season long. I'm not sure when he took it over, but he took it over pretty early, Eric, and he's not looked back either. He just kept gaining and gaining and gaining, and now he gets to finally be relieved and go into the final 4 races with that monkey off his back, knowing that he is the champion. But I don't expect him to hold back any. I mean, in an interview I did with him a few weeks ago, I asked him, you've got a huge points lead. How are you going to continue to race? Are you going to be more conservative or aggressive? And he said, I'm just going to be aggressive. I want to continue to win races. And he's shown that that he wants to win races. And he is now the 2020 Galaxy Truck Series champion.
So post-race coverage coming up here on JCTV from the Roval 200, the virtual Charlotte Roval here in the Galaxy Truck Series. We'll be back in just a few moments for post-race coverage. Welcome back to post-race coverage here of the Roval 200 on JCTV for the Galaxy Truck Series League Racing. The Roval 200 has concluded tonight from the virtual Charlotte Roval. We'll get a chance to catch up with all of our top 5 finishers tonight. First up, the driver of the 99 Ford F-150, Carl Felver. Carl, what a run. You haven't had the best of luck on the ovals, but man, you really showed your pace here tonight on the road courses.
Thank you. It was a lot of practice put in and just tried to be consistent. Wasn't too much worried about speed. Just trying to be consistent and keep it on track all night.
So we saw a little bit of an incident there. Josh and I questioned. We caught it right as it was happening. You had to pit there at the end of the race and put you back in a very interesting position. Then you ended up getting damaged from an incident. Just walk us through there at the end of the race, because it almost looked like you had third or potentially fourth locked up.
Yeah, so there at the end when Alonso caught me, I just wanted to tail him and try and pressure him into potentially making a mistake so I could get back into third. And overdrive it coming out of turn 4 a little bit, got loose, lost it, then tried to catch back up, which probably shouldn't have been doing that, but I was, and hit a turtle. Got a little bit of engine damage. It was requiring me to pit for, so I pitted, and then just can't really see coming up through turn 2 there. Got a little bit of damage, and that's what it is. I mean, it's racing. You never know what's going to happen, so.
Well, that's unfortunate for your night, but still a solid top 5 here in the Galaxy Truck Series. So we're looking forward to this. That's for the road courses. Look forward to a 1.5 miles next week. How confident do you feel heading into Kansas? Such a smooth, flat 1.5 miles. Definitely a stark contrast to what you've had past couple weeks.
I really enjoy Kansas as a racetrack. I actually haven't got to run a 1.5 miles yet with Galaxy, so it'll be a learning curve. Looking forward to it. Just hoping we can pull off the top 10 and be strong throughout the night.
Alrighty, well, before I let you get out of here, anyone that you'd like to thank for the run you had tonight? Who helps you get it done there on that 99 truck?
Yeah, mostly Midwest Motorsports. We did a lot of practice and helping each other out, build the set with Brian and Chris and Craig, and just trying to help each other out, talk each other through it, some breaking points and which gear we were taking corners in, all that stuff. So them and you guys for putting this on for us.
Alrighty, well, Josh, that's the 99 driver, Carl Felver, with a very solid top 5 finish tonight. Now, Josh, I believe you have caught up with our 4th place finisher. Not sure if Josh has appeared on me potentially.
Hey, Joe, it's Josh in the JCTV booth. You got a copy?
Hey, yeah, I got you.
Well, sorry about that for the technical difficulties on my end. But, Joe, you got a 4th place finish here tonight. Got a little bit crazy there at the end where it looked like you might have had 6th. So what happened for you to jump up in the 4th spot there?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I think Carl and someone got in a tangle out in front of us, and that's how I jumped those spots. Not sure I was going to be able to catch him. He was pretty good.
Well, you had a pretty good run tonight. You were doing pretty good all night throughout the race. How much practice time did you get in tonight to make sure that you were all prepared for this race?
Actually, we put in a pretty decent amount. Probably a good 4 hours or so. We ran a little last night and a little bit today. Just more so just making laps than setup. The setup was pretty hard to dial in, and there's a lot of fall off either way.
Well, next week we transition over to Kansas. Are you looking forward to going back to 1.5 miles? And how do you think you'll fare over there?
Yeah, I think so. This is road racing wears you out. That was definitely a tough race, mentally and physically. But yeah, looking forward to Kansas. I think we've got some similar tracks we've run in the past that I can draw from, and hopefully run in the top 10 all night. I think would be a pretty good race for me.
Well, before I let you go, is there any sponsors or team shout outs you'd like to give? Who gets it done for you behind the scenes?
Well, Andrew and Jimmy, we kind of practiced a lot and helped push each other, but not officially affiliated with any teams.
Alrighty, well, that's the driver of the number 37, Joe Gwilt. And I believe that, Eric, you've caught up with our 2nd place finisher, Jimmy Costarellos.
Yes, I have. Mr. Costarellos just come up 1 spot short tonight. And where do you feel like you lacked there against the winner, John Delaney?
I think it was consistency. I made a lot of uncharacteristic errors today, and I kind of paid for it, on that second stage there, when we all pitted. I kept a good distance between us, and it was just consistent distance, and then I just looped it, and yeah, kind of sucked, but it happens.
Well, still, nonetheless, a very solid night for your SBR 15 bunch. Walk me through. You knew Delaney was getting out there. You saw it in the first stage. You saw it in the last stage. How, as a driver, were you trying to maintain yourself? Did you think you had any sort of inkling of a chance there? Mainly on that restart.
Yeah, honestly, I really did, because before I looped it and I was about a second and a half, 2 seconds back, I could see him making some errors and he was hitting the wall coming out of the chicane on the front stretch. So honestly, I knew if I stayed in a decent distance from him, he would make errors and I could get him. But unfortunately, I made the bigger error there and it cost me the race. But you know what? I don't say this much, but I'm happy to take the second place because road course aren't my specialties. So I'm pretty happy with the finish.
Well, what a great run for you tonight. Fortunately for you, that's the last road course race in the Galaxy Truck Series season. We look forward to Kansas next week. How do you feel about the 1.5 mile program you guys at SBR have built? And how do you feel you'll fare going to Kansas next week?
Honestly, I feel really good. I think I'll probably be one of the favorites. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be able to race or not, but I think I'll be up there for sure. I have no doubt about that.
Alrighty, well, before I let you get out of here, Jimmy, as always, who helps to get it done on that 15 truck? And who do you want to thank for tonight's second place run?
Of course, thank SPR, Rich Petrucco, for giving me a shot in the car. My teammates, Andrew Shartner, even though Joey King, even though he's not here tonight, and Dan Fields, they've helped me out. They've helped me out throughout the week, and then of course my dad watches like every race, so I gotta say hi to him and thank him for taking a look. And thank you guys for putting on a great broadcast, by the way. I love it. I watch it after the race each night.
Alrighty, well, we certainly appreciate you putting on a show for us, Mr. Costarellos. That is our second place finisher, Josh Jimmy Costarellos, with what a great run in that number 15 SPR. He looks forward to Kansas next week. Josh, I believe you've had a chance now to catch up with the winner of tonight's event, John Delaney.
Yeah, John put on a great show tonight. Starting from the pole, leading every single lap, John. How did you get it done? I mean, is your truck going to pass post-race tech? You had a rocket ship. That thing was really fast there.
Yeah, it should pass inspection, hopefully. But I really only had maybe 20 to 30 laps of actual laps in the truck itself before the race. And I think what made me fast and what maybe made me learn the truck a lot easier than what other people were was I ran a bunch of laps in the cup car this week, and the only thing really different was just the braking points, and it was a lot easier to drive than the cup car, I thought. But it worked out. We were really fast. I really wasn't expecting to be this fast because, like I said, I only had a couple laps of practice. But yeah, we had a rocket ship.
Well, I mean, you drove a perfect race all race. I noticed a little bit of damage on the your truck on the right side. Was there a little bit of contact with the wall, maybe, or did you might get into another driver at some point? What happened there?
We it was hard getting back in a rhythm and a groove after the stage. And I think it was coming out of the last chicane on the front stretch. I just overdrove it a little bit, and I hit the wall a couple times there, and I think around turn 6 area, that sharp right hander going up the hill. I think I hit it, touched it, scraped the wall there a little bit. But yeah, it was just kind of it was hard getting back in a rhythm after such that long stage. And but we got back in it, and we kept pulling away.
Well, this is your second win of the season. You won Kentucky, the season opener. We're going back to a mile and a half next week at Kansas. I know you are a big fan of the mile and a halves. Is that one that you're looking forward to running? Possibly get a third win there?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know what my schedule will be like, but yeah, we'll see. I enjoy Kansas, especially in mile and a halves. I enjoy racing them. Mainly setup dependent at mile and a halves for sure. All about just saving tires and stuff like that, which I feel like I'm pretty good at. So we'll see.
And before I let you go and celebrate your win some more, I got to ask is there any sponsors or team shout outs you'd like to give? Who gets it done for you behind the scenes?
I'd like to thank all the guys on the Galaxy Truck admin team putting this together. Everyone that raced tonight. Um, you guys up in the booth putting on the broadcast. It's always awesome. And yeah, that's about it.
All right. Well, that is our winner, John Dulaney. Eric, you could say we were saving the best for last for interviews. Although he didn't finish on top of the podium with a win, he is sitting, or he did get third place here tonight. He is
I'll take it from
officially
here.
our
I'll take it from
champion.
here. I will take it from here. Josh, I want to welcome in the competition director of the Galaxy Truck Series, Cameron Stone, to make an announcement.
All right. After crunching the numbers there the last few laps of the race, we've been on the watch for this for the last couple of weeks. I'm honored to announce that good friend of mine, teammate for the last couple of years, Alonso Chicano, you have clinched the first championship for the Galaxy Truck Series.
All right. That's awesome.
So
didn't know that was gonna
congratulations
happen
to
today.
our third place finisher, Alonso Chicano. Alonso, you're the first champion of the Galaxy Truck Series.
That's awesome. It's an honor. Crazy. And to do it here at the Roval, out of all places, I do not consider myself a very good road course racer, and finishing third at the Roval, just it's nuts to me, honestly.
Well, we'll look big picture here first since the announcement just came down. What a season you had. This half season in the Galaxy Truck Series started way back in July, just constantly pounding those finishes out. And finally, you've built up enough of a point gap that here you sit as the champion in 2020. Just how does that feel in such a short span of time that the Galaxy Truck Series has existed, that you've been able to put yourself already on the top step officially and be the first in on the entire Galaxy League system to do that?
Well, first of all, I want to say that, like, I know maybe not all of my competitors have ran, as many races as I have. But I do feel like you can look at my average finish and you can look at my finishes and the wins I've gotten. And for example, like this finish here today, um, I feel like I can safely say that I do deserve it. I wish these guys have been able to run all the races. I wish that I had been able to run all the races. There's like one or two I missed. But I hopefully next year we can have more guys that can run more races and really have some even more intense competition here. Unfortunately, like I had a long battle with one of the drivers who doesn't race here anymore. But I feel like finishes like this, in a place where I feel like I'm just not really strong at, uh, really, I feel like it proves that I am, deserving of this championship, and it's it's something that we've worked really hard on. The past few weeks, I just, I've worked on consistency and just not making mistakes, making as little mistakes as possible, especially this week. It's not a track that I'm too familiar at, especially in the trucks. And just the race I we pulled off today, it just only made like one mistake throughout the race really. And besides that, I knew I didn't have the speed to compete against like Jonathan or Costarellos, but I knew if I could be consistent enough, I could get a decent finish. I was hoping really for maybe a top 5, but to get third is it's just it's incredible.
So yeah, transitioning over here to the race, third place run tonight. I mean, like you said, may have not had what you needed to challenge those two guys up front, but still, you're ahead of 16 other guys in the field. I mean, especially with walking away with a championship now, you have to feel good about tonight's run.
Yeah, definitely feels good. Gives me a lot of confidence going into future road courses for next season. Um and it really shows how much I feel like I've grown as a driver. I think maybe I were to have come into this race, where I was as a driver when we first started this league, I don't think I would have been able to have that consistency to finish third. So um, I want to say thank you to everyone who helps run this league, all you guys, all the broadcast people, everyone from my team. Like this whole league is really helped me grow as a driver. Even like outside of the league, on iRacing, even outside of iRacing as well. It's really helped me a lot, in many ways, in just in one. So I really appreciate everyone that has been able to put this on, and it's been quite the show. And I look forward to continuing the race here.
Well, let's go ahead and look forward just in the short range vision. You got Kansas coming up next week. How do you feel that the Hicksonball racing team that you're a part of, how do you guys feel for your mile and a half program? Looking forward to Kansas coming up in just a week.
Kansas is going to be an interesting track. I feel like it might be a little, obviously it being like a mile and a half, it might be a little similar to Vegas where you kind of have some pack racing for a while. Um, we'll see what we can do as far as setup goes. Hopefully we can bring a good one in. And then in the future, for the next few races, I feel like I might do a little better at I think we have like Martinsville and Phoenix, the last race coming up. I feel a little bit more confident there, but Kansas should be interesting, and I hope to be competitive enough there to get a good run.
Alrighty, well, before I let you get out of here and to go celebrate your championship, Alonzo, who helps you get it done week in and week out, who do you want to thank for this third place run tonight and ultimately the 2020 Galaxy Truck Series Championship?
Well, of course, I want to thank all my teammates. I want to thank B Hicks, who I call B Hicks, Bryson Hicksonball. I want to thank Cam. These guys, they're pretty much the leaders and our mentors, and every single race we look to them to give us kind of guidelines on how we should take this race, and they really do really good job mentoring us, and it's shown with the way I've matured as a racer. So I want to thank everyone in the Hicksonball team, everyone in Cam's team, the great teammates. Even Cody and his team too. They help out a lot. I want to thank my girlfriend. She's, like I said, my number one fan. Um, and she helps me out mentally, on and off the track. So I want to thank her. Um, I want to thank Michelob Ultra for being one of my sponsors this year. It's been a good run. Hopefully we can get some more sponsorship for next season. And yeah, I want to thank, like I said earlier, I want to thank you guys for putting on this show. I want to thank all the league owners, like Ryan and so like just thank you for giving us this opportunity to run in this league.
Alrighty, well, that is our third place finisher tonight in our 2020 Galaxy Truck Series champion, Alonso Chicano, clinching tonight here at the Charlotte Roval. Continued post-race coverage here on JCTV. Josh, I'll bring you back here in the booth with me now. What a race, what a run. Alonso clinches a championship, and John Delaney probably has the most dominant performance in Galaxy we've ever seen.
Yeah, it's a historical race for sure in the Truck Series.
First time on the Roval to boot as well.
Yeah, exactly. The real NASCAR trucks have never been here before. The good thing about iRacing is you can have these, fantasy lineups, like if you will, putting the trucks on the Roval. It was a great show. I love these road course races, and this is kind of why. I mean, we only had 3 guys finish on the lead lap, yes, but we had a driver just so dominant that he proved why he should be the winner. We had a guy clinch the championship and with a very consistent season, and to finally have that pressure off of him, and it was a great race all around, and I'm looking forward to these last 4 races.
Absolutely. So we looked past the Charlotte Roval. What a dominant performance it was. Only 1 leader, 0 lead changes. John Delaney bringing him the win. The rest of your finishing order: Jimmy Costarello is coming home second. Alonso Chicano third, clinches that 2020 Galaxy Truck Series championship. Fourth for Joe Gwilt. What a career best run it is for him. Carl Felver also getting up there very well. And fifth, Chris Landrum brings it home sixth. Caleb McCurry seventh. Brian Hayes 8th, Craig Fryer 9th, Dave Hughes Jr. rounds out your top 10. Alex Princeton 11th, 12th for Charlie Brown, 13th for Brian Branham, 14th for Lee Overton. Unfortunately, these guys down here not able to finish tonight's event. Andrew Shartner 15th, Anthony Campbell 16th, Adam Benefiel 17th, and Joseph Lester 18th, with Logan Slavoski rounding out the field in 19th tonight. Early exit for him. So that closes out the 55 laps here at the Charlotte Roval. We look toward the next race here in the Galaxy Truck Series. Josh, I look forward to Kansas. What do you think you're going to expect here from these Galaxy Truck Series drivers as we head to Kansas next week?
Yeah, I think Kansas is going to be another great race. These mile and a halves, the couple that we have had, have proved to be really good races overall. So I think next week should continue to be exactly just that, a great race. Lots of just really close racing with these drivers. And I think the restarts are going to be wild overall. So we should be in for a treat next week at Kansas.
So last time out, we saw some of the guys from Burnt Rubber Racing run really well there. Josh, expecting more of the same? Fortunately, I don't think any of them made the race tonight, but are you expecting more of the same as we head to Kansas next week?
I think somebody from like SPR, Rich Petrucco and their team, they'll probably go back to the shop, really see what they can do different from their last time out at a mile and a half. And I think one of the SPR guys like Jimmy Costarellos may be a threat to really get it next week.
So how freeing do you think it is for Alonso Chicano? He's now your champion. I mean, pretty much, is this experimenting for 2021 now, moving forward for the setups in that Hickson Ball Racing team?
Yeah, I don't expect anything different from Alonso. Moving forward, he is free. That pressure is off. He can go out and just do what he wants. But again, he said that he still wants to be aggressive and go for wins, even when he didn't have that championship locked up. Now that he has it locked up, I think he still is going to continue to do the thing Alonso has done all season long, and that try to park his number 25 Chevrolet in victory lane.
Alrighty, so we look forward to 134 laps at Kansas next week. We'll be able to bring you more information as the Galaxy Truck Series admins get the details of that race sorted out next week in terms of tire set limit stages and all the extras. But nonetheless, we'll be here next Friday on JCTV. Same time, same old place for Galaxy Truck Series action at the virtual Kansas Speedway. Don't forget, tomorrow night, you can catch the Galaxy Cup Series guys going at it on 3 Wide TV over here on YouTube. From the Charlotte Roval, the playoff cut race there, Josh, for those guys. Should be some exciting action over on the Cup side of things in the Galaxy realm.
Yeah, I expect the Cup race to be a fun, action-packed race itself from the Galaxy Cup Series drivers. I'll be out in it, and it's gonna be a tough one. Got a long race, 110 laps, and it'll be 3 stages, unlike the 2 that we saw tonight. But yeah, I think through ITV should have a really good show for you guys tomorrow.
So don't forget, catch that coverage on 3Y TV starting at 7:30. That's going to do it from us tonight here in the JCTV booth. From the Galaxy Truck Series admins, Cameron Stone, Ryan Samuelson, Rich Petrucco, Cameron Caldwell. From the guys that get it done behind the scenes, Dustin Webb, my broadcast partner, Josh Coppernell. I'm Eric Wineland saying good night. Congratulations to Alonso Chicano on the 2020 Galaxy Truck Series Championship. We'll see you guys next week when we go racing from the virtual Kansas Speedway.